Well, who would have imagined at the beginning of the year that we'd actually see out a full season, an amended full season of the AFL that we have. We've reached the preliminary final weekend of the competition. We've got 4 top sides that have played some marvellous football. They've had 1 or 2 little minor glitches, but we're about to catch up with Alex Caiafa, who's been our correspondent throughout this amended season of the AFL. It's going to be some extraordinary football played. 2 sides have decided advantages. They're actually playing at home. And for the very first time in ever, I think, we've got 2 Victorian clubs that actually have to go the long way around to get to the MCG. Hang on, they can't get to the MCG to get to the Gabba. How complicated, how convoluted is that sentence?
It really is. Well, the thing is, there's been that interstate theme of, we talk about earning your right to play, at the MCG in a grand final. It's the same thing for interstate. Well, now the tables have turned. It's turned into the Victorian teams playing interstate have to earn the right to play in a grand final at the Gabba.
And it's normally Richmond who's had 22 games at the MCG to play their home game, the home final or the grand final. What do you think? How tough a job will it be for Richmond? Now, they played a terrific game there earlier in the season. The result went against them. How do they turn it around? Or is it a different side that's going to turn up?
Well, in round 11, when the 2 teams played, Port got up by 21 points in that game, and it was actually quite close for 3 quarters. Richmond were actually in front at 3-quarter time, and Port put the screws on and took control in the 4th and won that game. In saying that though, I love what Port are about. You don't sit on top of the ladder all season and get to this point for no reason at all. They've been the clear, favourite, and they've been a huge surprise packet. I don't think many would have expected them to be where they are this year, but they've exceeded all expectations. They're here now. From that last game though, Richmond have 7 premiership stars back into their lineup from the last time that they played, and I'm a huge believer in big game experience, and the Tigers have won 2 of the last 3 premierships. They're in their 4th preliminary final in a row. They've got that big game experience, and if there's one team that can get it done away from home in such a big clash, it's those Richmond Tigers.
I can remember twice in the VFL AFL competition, Port Adelaide Power were minor premiers, looked invincible, and they went out in straight sets. Now, they haven't gone out in straight sets this time round, but do you think again they might fail at the very last hurdle?
There's every chance to. This is a really 50-50 game. Port have shown all year that they've come up against the teams who we consider the top teams, the more elite teams, and then they've matched it with them and exceeded it. Playing at home, it is going to be a huge value for them. They're going to have most of the home crowd behind them, and it does galvanise you. We've seen that home crowds have the ability to bring a different energy and just a different motivation to
they
play.
Intimidate umpires too.
Yeah, they absolutely do, especially in Adelaide. So it's a real 50-50 game. I'm expecting a cracking game. It's just going to be your typical preliminary final. It's going to be intense. It's going to be pressure style football. It's just the energy's going to be there. I'm tipping Richmond here though. As I said before, I'm a big believer in the big game experience. Richmond have it. Port haven't yet shown it. So until that changes, I'm going with the Tigers.
Just remind me again how your tipping has gone this year.
It's gone. I don't think it's gone too badly.
All right, let's look at the other game. This is the one being played, of course, at the new home ground of the AFL. We're talking about the Gabba.
Yep. Well, we got Brisbane against Geelong. Brisbane haven't lost at the Gabba this year. They've been really, really good when they've played at home. But funny enough, the Cats haven't lost at the Gabba either, and the Cats have won by an average of 56 points in their 4 games at the Gabba. So they're no slouches when it comes to that ground. They've almost considered that another home ground this year. And
how did they match up?
In their first clash in round 6, they played at the SCG in Sydney, and Geelong won by 27 points, which could have been a little bit different had Brisbane kicked a bit straighter in the first half, but
that's been their Achilles heel.
That's been their huge issue, and Geelong really turned the screws in the 3rd quarter in that game and kicked, I think it was 7 goals in that quarter. So they really ran away with it in that game, and Geelong have got some big name players there. They've got some premiership stars there. Joel Selwood in his 10th preliminary final in his 13th year in football. It's just unbelievable.
Freaky.
And you got Tom Hawkins, you got guys like Mitch Duncan and Harry Taylor. They've got premiership experience there. And, Geelong will be going into this game thinking, is this our last chance to get to a grand final? We don't know what's going to happen with little Gaz. We don't know if this could potentially be his last game or not.
Swan song. Chris Fagan, the coach of Brisbane, he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's done an absolutely amazing job from 2 to 3 years ago, where they were fighting to be a team that was just getting out of the bottom four, to be second 2 consecutive years in a row.
We're going to see the Brownlow medalist in this game?
We are. I feel we will. I think Lachie Neale's the clear favourite. He's shown all year. He's just been such a consistent performer. He's an absolute ball magnet. He's just anywhere the ball is, you find him around there. He's such an elite talent. And
so who wins?
I'm going again. The odds-on favourites are with the home teams, but I'm going the opposite this week. I'm going the two teams that aren't the favourites. I'm picking the Cats here. I think there's a bit of, they know that this is their last chance, and I think it's going to really galvanise them.
Let me be the spoiler. Port Adelaide, Brisbane grand final, and Jimmy Barnes on the entertainment schedule to play for free. Can you believe it? That's the word. That's what we're getting at. Let's talk Brownlow. It's not the normal Monday night affair with everyone looking super grand. We're playing it down a little bit, of course, because of all the disruption. And we're actually going to hold a cocktail party for Channel 7. What do you feel about that? You dressing up, by the way?
I don't think I'll be dressing up, but I'm sure many others will. They'll get into the spirit of it, and I don't blame them. It's a fun night, but as we've said at the start of the year, it's an unprecedented year. Different things are going to have to happen this year. It's just what we're going to have to do. And
Okay, so just remind me again who's winning and making the grand final.
I think Lachie Neale's winning the Brownlow, and I think the grand final is going to be Geelong v Richmond.
All right, you've heard it first. Alex Caiafa, as he's done all year, stuck his neck out. How will he look next week? Join us then, The Informer. And by the way, should you want to catch up on any of the material that we do at The Informer, just join us. Go to the website, theinformer.tv.